Welcome back to Rachel B. The Healthy Wheat. To continue on with our summer series, I wanted to show you a quick no-bake recipe. So we are going to be using today 1.5 cups of crumbled pretzels. We'll talk about how you can do that. We're going to use 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of powdered sweetener. I am using erythritol. We are doing 9 tablespoons of melted butter. And then off to the side, we have 1 cup of chocolate chips. I'm using the Lily salted caramel, but you can just use plain or white, whatever your flavor you like. They also have a butterscotch, which is fun. So I used pretzels like this, and they're just a gluten-free pretzel. I use my food processor to get them to crumble down, but you can also put them in a blender or even put them in a plastic sandwich baggie or a Ziploc bag and crush them. So whatever equipment you have, go with that. So to that, we are going to add in our powdered sugar, our peanut butter, and on your peanut butter, because I'm using an unsweetened all natural so that we aren't adding any real sugar to this, just make sure that yours is either room temperature or nuke it before you do this so that you make sure it's soft and spreadable so you can mix it into the batter easily. Because we all know the natural stuff can get kind of firm when you refrigerate it to store it. Then we're going to add in our butter. And we're going to stir everything together. Alright, you should end up with a nice firm, almost dough like this. If you do not, then make sure that you add a little bit more crumbled pretzels just to firm it up. Now I have a 7.5 by 11.5 dish here. I'm not going to grease it because you don't need it because there's so much butter and so on. There's fats inside of the mixture. And we're going to place it right in here. And like I said, nice and clean because it's... And then we're going to press it down into a nice even layer. Alright, now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and move on to the chocolate chips. So with the chocolate chips, you need to melt them. And what we're going to do is just eyeball about a tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter. Do this in your microwave in like 30-second bursts and keep an eye on it because you can, especially with the sugar-free, burn the chocolate pretty easily. So just keep an eye on it. So let's go ahead and start doing that and then we'll come back and put the top on. Alright, so in my microwave that took about 45 seconds and as you can see, that's what we've got. So now we're going to go ahead and just pour this right on top. Alright, now comes the hardest part of the whole recipe. You have to put it in the fridge and leave it alone at least for an hour to let everything re-solidify. So let me show you the side real quick. I like to not make it super thick because it's obviously pretty rich, but if you want to make a larger quantity to make a thicker bar, that's up to you. But let's go ahead and refrigerate it and we'll meet back here and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so it's been actually 2 hours because we got busy. Otherwise we wouldn't have waited that long because they're too yummy. So I went ahead and just used a knife and ran through. You can warm it up if you want, or you can just, take slow time cutting it. But as you can see, I cut it into some little squares. We're gonna pop one out and we'll let my husband try a piece, but that's what they look like. Pretzels are one of his favorite foods, so this is kind of for him. So he said it's buttery and rich, and remember I told you it was rich, which is why I like to make them a little bit thinner. He said it was a little bit much chocolate for him, and if I'm honest, I wasn't 100% even because you see how thick that is. But if you come over here, this one has a much thinner. I think this thinner section would be a better amount of chocolate, but that's up to you. If you love chocolate, do 50-50. That's totally up to you. But again, something I thought that would just be really nice for the summer because no bake, and talk about easy. The hardest thing is waiting for it to solidify so you can cut it and eat it. So hope you guys give this a try. If it's something you're into, if you like pretzels and chocolate, this is definitely for you. Thanks for watching and keep tuning in for our summer series.